Remember how much fun we all used to have? And how much it sucks now? Well, my advice for you about that, my new mantra that I keep saying, kids, go to your local community center and put on a show. It don't have to have big production values and nothing like that. Just express yourself, kid. Get yourself some secondhand keyboard from a charity shop and plug it into something loud. Put a repetitive beat on it and just shout over it to entertain your friends. And then make a tape and give it to your friend, and then your friend makes a tape and they give it to you, and then you've all got computers now, so it's easy to make remixes. You can remix your track and remix again. We can create new kinds of music that are infinite. Music don't have to be in some fixed state like a commodity capitalist product. Music is eternal, and it is vital now as a culture that the people, and I would say especially the young people, disregard the military-industrial entertainment complex as irrelevant to them and not serving their interests, either in a commercial or a artistic, or dare we say a spiritual sense. It is time to make new venues. It is time to, I was going to say to put on shows in your living room, but then you end up with that real awful kind of middle class sofa sounds kind of thing, where lots of white middle class guys in chinos drinking Prosecco and listening to folk interpretations of Gary Newman songs. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd rather be doing than sitting at one of those events. So don't do those kind of events. The thing is, you just need to what we need is some work that is vital and alive and on fire. And I know there are people out there who inside are on fire, and the system is telling them that they cannot express it. Now, what is the mechanism by which the system is repressing expression? Well, I would say that mechanism is this thing we call production values now, isn't it? Production values is an insidious term which implies that there are fixed ways of making art, that there are fixed ways of telling a story, conveying a narrative, and these actually provide great limitations to somebody who is interested in what a story is and how narrative works, rather than just wanting to regurgitate something for money. And so we need to begin to look at we need now, especially what we have this whole AI thing, and we need a new human modernism that will take in the entirety of history. And, certainly, computing and all that can still be in there, but it's a tool. It's something that we use when we have to use it and avoid as best we can. Because also, really, the problem with computing now is that it is not... There is the software is too perfect in the way that a programmer who has only known neoliberalism would think is perfect. There's no room for fault or error, and for me that means there ain't no room for discovery. Like in the good old days at the beginning of AI art, when you put your prompts into it, it could come up with some crazy business, man. It could come up with some some crazy, unpredictable stuff, because the programming was in this sort of formative stage, and it is those flaws in the technology which, enable something interesting to come out. I mean, we can all do a 4/4 house beat, and the fact that there are millions and millions and millions of pieces of music that these 4/4 like house tracks that all are basically the same. It's just very vexing to me. I don't understand why people want to mass produce the same thing. It's never ever been comprehensible to me. And this idea of production values is ultimately what is standardized and homogenized all of the art that exists and is around. And it's time again for the DIY, folks. What's the matter with that? Bring back the DIY. If something has like production values and looks like it was made for Netflix or Amazon Prime or something, well, think that this is something made by the military-industrial complex. I want to see something made by actual people. I want to see something made by human beings or even human hybrids. I want to see things with heart and soul. I want art that aches and bleeds. And we can do this because this is what we do. Is there not an argument to say that great art ultimately is what we as humans do best? I mean, that is. Unless you want to be a bad boy, rewrite the whole history of humanity into, you could say that, if you take the, we're going to say this quietly, but is it possible that if you look at the course, we're kind of on to another subject now, but is it possible that if you look at the course of human history and look at the inventions, the art, the literature, the poetry, the movies in the days before cinema was a dead art form, is it not possible that everything that humans have achieved and accomplished has actually been achieved and accomplished by a handful of autistic folk? Could it be that way? Now, this is a very curious thought, and it becomes an even more curious thought in the context of the UFO, UAP narrative when people are discussing the inevitable ontological shock, which will come with full disclosure and full realization by humanity of the reality of UFOs, which is that if, as seems to be suggested by the research of contemporary geneticists like Dr. Max Rempel, that the autistic folk are actually hybridized with an intelligence which is external to human intelligence inserted from some other source. But if the autistic people are from another source other than the human genome, then the true ontological shock of this is not that the majority of human achievement and accomplishment has been actually accomplished by a handful of autistic people, but that the majority of human achievement and accomplishments have been achieved by a bunch of folk who ain't really from this planet at all. Now don't that put the humans in their place? So, if you begin to look history in this way begins to tell an entirely different story, doesn't it? And it's, I'm going to go out of that voice now. I've been doing that voice for a long time. It's very difficult. So isn't that interesting? Doesn't that tell a different story? So, all you kids out there who feel like, that you might be an alien-human hybrid, and that you feel completely different to the humans, it's because you are completely different. And science is going to show this very soon. And this goes back to what I was saying about making a new culture. It's that when you look at the television or the people who are famous, I don't see a lot of super intelligent people. I don't see a lot of mega autistic savantish celebrities. And at every other point in history, all of the famous people have been basically savants, all of the high achievers. How can we say that Leonardo or Michelangelo or Mozart we're not savants? And so the savants in this iteration of society, who are the shiny ones and the brilliant ones, sorry to say it, but it's true. The savants have been for example, anyone, I think almost everyone in this country who is the parent of an autistic child now is aware that pretty much all autistic children are falling through the school system, which literally means I'm sorry to say this, but autistic people use at least 40% more of their brains. So what is literally happening is the most intelligent children are falling through the education system. 70% of homeless people in this country are autistic people. So clearly, all of the clever people are being pushed to the side while boring people make entertainment. And they do, I'm sorry, but, occasionally I look at popular culture. I don't look at it very often, but, occasionally I see, adverts and bits of television shows, and the level of vacuousness and just unimaginativeness, which is the thing that people want. People want a repeated thing. People want something that is familiar and recognizable. And to me, this idea is alien. I want to be surprised. I want to be ravished by beauty. I want to be eaten by stars. I want a lion to suddenly appear in the room. I want the words of Nabokov's ardor to eat me whilst I sleep. I want to be the eyes of the evil cat over there. So I am angry. We can do much better. Just ignore the entertainment system and start making and presenting and producing art, music, noise, poetry that is not for them. That's not for the television. That's not for Spotify. That's not for Audible. That's not even for YouTube. Do things in rooms. Do things for your friends. Do things to terrify your aunties and uncles. Do things to annoy your parents. Do things to stir things up in ways that are exciting. Do things to try and bend reality. Do things to try and make this humdrum society that you have built here a little less tedious. For goodness sake, you can have so much fun. There are so many ways you can have fun. Have you tried frolicking?